Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of the walking series. I'm here with one of my old time friends. Do you care if your name is?
No, that's
Okay,
fine.
first name basis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
I was like, we didn't even
I
talk
feel,
about that.
I feel like you're gonna say it anyway, but
He lives on.
actually.
My bad. That's something we probably should have discussed. We're,
Good morning.
hey, morning. We're walking today in Lewisville over at Parker Square today. You can see there's a bunch of trees over in this area. Um, it's a gorgeous day. I think it's about 60 degrees.
Yeah.
Just giving this lady up here some time to get ahead.
Just film the lady walking. It's not weird.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, is you don't want to ever make anyone feel weird. But yeah, dude, look at that. Man. This reminds me of like something at the zoo. Like, there's probably some fish in there.
Yeah, there's perch at least.
Yeah. I like the sound of running water like that. It's nice and relaxing. Yeah.
You know, when David and I used to walk here, we would plan about living under the bridge if we needed to.
It's a good bridge to do it. You got plenty of water. You
Yeah.
just gotta fish those perch out.
It was close to our work.
Uh-huh. And this is one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. The beautiful fountain.
Wow.
Dude, I love it, man. Fountains are always a source of joy for me. And plus, the little rainbow. A reminder of God's promise. That's really, really nice. Oh, that's very nice. Sorry, guys, I'm still trying to get used to how to operate this stabilizer.
Stabilizer. I barely know her.
The gimbal. Let's see what you do with that one. And right here we have a gigantic snake. I'm not too sure what that is. Oh, it's just a hose of some sort.
Yeah, maybe for the fountain.
Yeah.
Maybe they replaced the old one.
Oh, nice. Look, you can, if I can operate this thing, they have benches for you to sit on. It's really cool.
And look, a nice bridge for crossing to the right.
Let's see if I can zoom. Oh, that was a good zoom. That was responsive. Like that.
Oh. Cut that out.
Cut it. If we want to adopt this spot, we have to consult with the Hogan family. Brother, if you want to adopt my spot, you're gonna have to talk to the man upstairs. What was your favorite Disney movie growing up?
Oh man, that's a tough one. We probably watched Lion King the most. But that might have just been because we had it, you know. I remember watching Dumbo and that being like such a shocker when he gets drunk and there's all the swirls and the different colors. Like,
How old were you when you knew that he was getting drunk?
much later.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like,
I didn't understand. He drank this liquid and all of a sudden, like, I thought it was bubbles whenever I was young, you know.
mm-hmm. Same. It's crazy you say Dumbo. That was my favorite movie. My mom got me like a stuffed elephant when I was like 3 and 4, and so to me, like, I immediately loved elephants, and I would watch that movie over and over.
Mm.
My favorite part was kind of the drunk acid trip of all the pink elephants.
Yeah.
But that was my favorite movie growing up. And Lion King is a great choice, by the way. It's a killer.
Mufasa.
soundtrack.
Ooh, say it again.
¿Qué pasa? Yeah, that soundtrack is amazing, though.
Mm.
I had a friend in high school that we were working on a project together, and he was obsessed with that soundtrack. And I stopped playing it, I paused it, and he took it so serious. He was like, "I'm not gonna keep working unless you hit play again." I'm not joking with you. He was like, "All right, let's continue." I was like, "What in the world? What's wrong with this guy?" All right, just can't wait to be king. You got it, boss. He loved that soundtrack. Like, maybe it was for him. His brother wasn't the nicest guy, and maybe for him it was kind of like a soothing thing as a kid that he could watch that movie and kind of escape maybe some things at home. I'm not sure. I noticed that you're not breathing that hard, nearly as hard as me. Showing.
Sorry,
There you go. That's better.
Guys, it doesn't look like it on camera, but this is very steep and rigorous walking we're doing here.
What's your secret? You're like weighing 60 pounds less. Not about eating about 300,000 less calories than you do.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
James he's been jogging for quite a while now and doing great on his exercises. So he's earned the right not to have to breathe heavy. Hey, good morning.
We've gotten away from the creek.
Yeah,
It's still nice, but
it's not the same.
Yeah.
Do you like running water too?
I do. I like water in any way. I like ponds, creeks, oceans, lakes.
Did you and your brother go swimming quite a bit as kids? Or?
I swam a lot as a kid. John, I don't remember swimming as much.
Awesome.
I'm like a fish in the water, man.
Some of his like hanger tags or his alias on stuff is fish spots, and he has earned that title because I took Elizabeth fishing one time, just her and I, and we caught nothing but worms. And we go fishing with James one time, and she at least caught 5 different fish. And I was like, all right, I guess he really is fish spot.
That was a lot of fun. We went back to that same spot with Katie and Roy.
Oh, yeah.
And we did not catch that many fish. I think it had rained just before, and the fish don't really bite that much after a good rainstorm. So
that's a good spot. What were we just using worms? I don't even remember. What was our bait?
We might have been using corn. I like corn a lot just because it's easy to put on. And
like kernels?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Have you ever heard of people using like cheese bait?
I've heard of everything. People use peanut butter. People use bread for some types of fish. I use bread for some types of fish.
That's cool. My dad is he loves fishing. That's what he did. You remember this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. everything's supposed to over here. There we go. I remember this thing. Kind of weird. I don't remember this trail all that well. Like, I remember tennis courts at some point.
Oh yeah, it's just after this curve up here.
Okay. I'm glad I have someone for guidance.
Again, this doesn't look very steep, but for you viewers,
Right now this is like a 7 on a treadmill on incline. Oh
No.
man, right now we're he-manning it. Dude, speaking of which, have you ever thought about how lucky our wives are to have us as husbands?
How do you mean? I mean, yes, but how do you mean?
I just mean like 2 absolute alphas. like genuine pictures of men's fitness. Most caring, compassionate, never angry, always very level-headed when it comes to making large decisions.
Oh yeah.
Normally being able to arrive to a consensus within a day or two, not taking 5 years.
After doing 100 hours of data analysis to
right.
determine
and
the right.
10 spreadsheets for no spreadsheet problems. They're so lucky.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the Lord was good today.
I'm gonna remind Megan when I get home how lucky she is.
Tell you what, man, I need to remind Elizabeth a little bit more often what the Lord has done for her. That don't run off of peanut butter and have a propensity to overeat.
Whoa, come on, man! You gotta call us out like that.
Do you like peanut butter?
Oh yeah. I used to. I would do oatmeal for breakfast and add a little bit of peanut butter to it, and man, warm peanut butter in oatmeal hits different.
I've never tried that. It's pretty good.
I feel like it. I feel like it tastes so much more salty like that. I don't know what it is. Maybe there's more of it contacting your tongue since it's like slightly melted. I don't know.
Yeah, peanut butter itself is. I find it to be pretty high, or just good. It's a lot of sodium.
Mm.
It does taste pretty salty. I love oatmeal though.
Mm.
My brother was more of a malto meal kid.
I don't even know what malto meal is.
It's for the best. It's like if oatmeal had a second cousin that only came for Thanksgiving, and like he's around, but like his parents are like overly sensitive and hope that he gets played with. That's malto meal.
Mm.
The Quaker family's like yeah, just do your best. Just try to play with them for a couple hours. Let it share your Xbox with them. That's malto meal.
Are you more of a savory oatmeal or a sweetened oatmeal, like the maple brown sugar people? Or
I'm the maple brown sugar. Okay. In fact, to me, that is that's a great question. My mom, she always bought the maple brown sugar, so that's all I know.
Mm.
Like, in fact, if there is no maple brown sugar, then I'm like, oh man, I didn't know that they made different types of oatmeal. Like, I thought that was oatmeal. In fact, just until you said that.
Oh yeah, I love oatmeal.
Oh,
wow,
so cute.
On the far bank, there's a bunch of geese.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Look at all those geese.
That wind is going to be cutting through.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to fight a goose before?
No, but I've had to run from one.
I'm telling you, there's a couple up here that look like they mean business. I mean, in our path.
Oh, like today?
I mean, he's strutting up there. Oh, they got in the water. They saw us coming and they knew.
Meredith, it's not worth it. Let's get this bread. Geese and CEOs have one thing in common: getting that bread. Look at OG CEOs. Yeah, look at them. Look at them run. I would hate to be a wife and have my husband run to the other side of the pond when a couple of alphas came in. That would be a wicked night. What is it? What is a group of ducks called?
Oh, I don't know. Flock of ducks? Dude,
yeah.
look at those turtles right there.
Oh, that's so cool.
Sunbathing.
Sunbathing, bro. That's really cool. Just a couple of turds. Just a couple of turds. Oh, they're getting food?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool.
It's the same way I eat.
Bottoms up. Do you think that's what started the bottoms up? It's definitely bottoms up.
It is. Dude, I could catch one of those. Dude, I'm so tempted to grab one of those right now.
I think Peter may come after us though.
I mean, I'd let it go. I wouldn't hurt it.
I guess. I mean, I think it would really start squawking at the storm, but I mean,
Yeah, the ghost.
Free moral agent, right?
Those geese might have trouble with it, you know.
Yeah, I want to kind of come see them. See if it's a couple of CEOs down there. Do you think that the ducks and the geese talk amongst themselves?
No,
It's got to be nature's own, or like it's got to be Wonder Bread. They're making tier lists.
Yeah.
Like
they like the geese will let the ducks have Wonder Bread, but then if there's Mrs. Baird's, like those ducks better step back.
Mrs. Baird's is like the pinnacle, especially the butter flavored or the.
What?
I bet you that they also hate bread with seeds all over it, like I do.
No.
Yeah, man.
Are you, birds eat seeds. That's what's in their normal diet.
Yeah, the poor ones. I'm making some hot takes. Dude, I hate breads. I really do.
Why do you think that is?
Because I want bread.
Oh, look out.
I want bread to be bread. I don't want to have trail mix in my bread.
It's not. Morning. Good morning. Okay, that's cool.
So what is your, like, all right, lawyer James, like, let's hear what your defendant has to offer.
Good morning. About what?
About, I want you to make an argument for bread with seeds in it. I want you to defend your client.
It's just a nice, change of, we got another migrate.
Texture.
Yeah.
And
there's more to the bread.
Are you a seed oils kind of guy too?
What? What do you mean?
There's people that don't like seed oils. They're kind of health conscious about it, and they sometimes make a big deal about seed oils.
I've never heard that.
Oh.
Like sunflower seed oil?
Like olive. Well, olive, I guess, is a seed. I'm not wrong here, though. I think that seed oils is a thing that people kind of, they're trying to be wary of and try to limit the use of in their diet. I don't know what all the arguments are, though. But, yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, man, like, when it comes to the bread that has the little, just anything. The only thing I changed my mind on that I'll make an exception for is an everything bagel. I will devour an everything bagel, right?
Yeah.
But nice. I don't want my loaf of bread when I'm making a peanut butter sandwich, if I wasn't an alpha and I ate peanut butter all the time, to be one with seeds all in it. Like, I don't like that texture.
Yeah, I could see that, especially if you're a creamy peanut butter guy. You know, you want the whole thing to be smooth.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to chew as much. You can just kind of gum it and swallow.
Glug. Nice little park bench.
No, but like, yeah, I think like on a sandwich, it's way different. If you're talking about like a sandwich with like, you know, meat and lettuce, and that's a different ball game than just a peanut butter sandwich, I think.
So like, what would you have? Like, are you just talking like a hammy, like a ham sandwich, or what is the ideal? If you're gonna have bread with seeds, what's on it that is really good?
Yeah, I like a turkey and cheese with some lettuce. I'd say tomato, but we don't have good tomato here.
Okay. Maybe I was too harsh, and I did say hate about 3 times. Like, I don't need to be so dogmatic about it. Like, and I really started to backpedal when I remembered how much I enjoy everything bagels.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I will say I'm perfectly fine with some instances, but there's a lot of sandwiches that I do enjoy that I just love. Plain white honey wheat. A woman at church, she just gave me a recipe for how to actually make sourdough bread.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Becky, Ashley's mom. I am so excited, bro. And I'm probably gonna get a Dutch oven and all this stuff to start making it.
Do you have sourdough starter, or
are you not yet? She's giving me the instructions.
Megan literally just started some.
Really?
A couple weeks ago. Like, it's starting to get to the point where it's ready to be used.
And you want to know the best part of that too?
What?
No seeds.
You can choose to make it with seeds.
Don't ruin it. We're doing so good right now. I'm really on your side, and I want to stay on your side.
But Megan, she was using like normal flour, and a lot of the people said, especially if you're making your own starter, it's way better to have whole wheat flour, because apparently there's more for like the stuff to eat.
Have you made it with her?
I mean, we're just working on the starter right now, so we haven't actually made any bread.
Okay.
But I've been involved in the process.
Okay.
You have to like feed it daily.
Wow.
I mean, at the start, to like get your starter
like
ready.
Living organism.
It is.
It kind of blows my mind. What kind of time investment am I talking about here?
It's like 5 minutes a day.
Okay. And at what point is it old enough to take it out to the slaughterhouse?
Well, if that's the thing, if you have someone else who already has a starter, they can like seed yours, and then you don't have to wait the 2 weeks before you start your own.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I mean,
there's something about like when you're starting, there's something about the balance of bacteria that's growing in there. And first it's the wrong kind of bacteria, and then the good bacteria wins out.
Okay.
And that's the sourdough. There's definitely dog poop.
Okay. I know that like the moment we started talking about bread, like it's one of the most popular topics on YouTube right now, and like it's not niche in any way. Making
it's like a resurgency, right? I'm sure like in the 1800s bread was this big of a topic.
Actually, we just got 50 subscribers, all ducks.
They're making sourdough, and they're going to be walking by
Hold on,
our
hold on.
ponds.
Subscribe, Meredith. Meredith,
Yeah.
make sure you subscribe.
How do we get the goose population to subscribe to us
right.
on YouTube?
All of a sudden, it's a male, female, and it has to bracket it as human and then ducks.
Yeah. Humans and waterfowl.
Yeah. All of a sudden, my channel starts growing like nuts, and it's all ducks.
Like nuts?
Yeah, yeah. And the ducks are they're all in the comment section, like, "Hey, there's nothing wrong with seeds.
Yeah,
in it.
put
We'll
more
take anything."
seeds.
Yeah.
If you have
He's
access,
wrong about the seeds.
If you have access to bread with seeds and you don't want it, I will take it from you.
I side with James on this one. He's wrong. Chad's wrong. Kenji Alt Lopez is a master chef. He's like a food scientist, and he has a YouTube channel that I'm subscribed to. And I learn a lot of cooking from him. I bought his book. I think it's like either food science or the food lab or something like that. And it's a master class, man. He was gonna be an architect, but decided to go. I don't know what made him go into culinary. I think he always enjoyed making food, cooking.
Mm.
But that exact attention to detail and just knowing something 5 layers deep, like the why and the why and the why and the why. That's Kenji. He's amazing. I love watching his stuff. I always learn like 5 new things from his videos. We're doing great. You want to go straight?
Sure.
We gotta look both ways.
I like to just look one way.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Nothing could go wrong 50% of the time there.
Right.
It's a gorgeous day. I don't think we've said that enough.
These trees were made by the Flower Mound Rotary Club.
That's impressive. Most Rotary clubs are just into twists and turns and rotation.
Uh-huh.
If you can't tell, I know 100% what Rotary refers to. All right, I'll just come out and say it. And I'm really just asking for your benefit. What is a Rotary club?
I don't know either.
Man, we're gonna have to chat.
I'll put
this one.
I'll put 2 guesses in.
Okay.
The first one is probably the worst.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna give that one. It was the worst. The one I'm gonna go with. No, I'm just not gonna guess. It's easier that way. For some reason, I thought it had something to do with boats or propellers or something, but there couldn't be a whole club dedicated to boats and propellers that then is interested in putting in a few trees.
Rotary. My guess is that it's an exercise, or it's a machine of some sort.
All right, I'm gonna Google this bad boy.
It's a club, and it's mostly guys.
Yeah.
I'd say 85 to 90% guys, and they love doing rotations of some sort with a device. I guess. How wrong are we?
I think it's just. I don't know where the name Rotary comes in. I think it's just like a community service group.
Okay. Maybe they worked on a rotation. I don't know, man. I wonder how they got that name. It's a little bit deceived. I honestly think our stuff was way cooler.
Yeah.
A little like
Our global network of more than 1.2 million neighbors, friends, and leaders volunteer their skills and resources to solve issues and address community needs.
You said million?
1.2 million.
Yeah, they got they can plant a few trees. That makes complete sense.
Yeah. That's the International Rotary Club.
Okay.
I'm sure this is just one group.
All right. can't get over how gorgeous this day is. It's just unbelievable.
It's nice.
Morning, guys. Totally gorge. Looks gorge. Do you shorten a lot of words like that?
No.
No? Do you like it when I do it all the time? You can be honest.
I think I don't care.
Okay, good. The way you responded, I think you didn't like it. No. Elizabeth and I do that a lot. We're like, Toad's gorge. Or, we'll say, like, gotta get some nugs and
Oh,
gotta get that cheeseburger.
you want to go back? Or
With, a little bit further out here if you are.
sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I just
Let me know if you want to turn around at any point. I'm cool with going a little bit further.
didn't know where the path was supposed to go from there. If it picks up again anywhere else.
Well, we can turn around in a few as we get up here if you'd like.
Looks like we're at 1.75 miles.
Wow, that's great.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. If you're cool with it, if we could make it to
2.5 and then go back.
Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah, I was on the same wavelength.
Okay.
Yeah. Now let's point the gimbal at this school real quickly.
Yeah.
Make sure you trigger in on it.
So that's the reason why I used the gimbal on the first video. Was because it reminded me too much of like how a gun feels. I think I've only held like one hand with it, right? So like, what do I know? But it just felt wrong.
To point at a school.
Yeah, it was kind of dark, and I was like, if any police officers show up and stuff, and I turn too fast,
Yeah.
it's like I just don't want them to think.
The quicker you can show them that it's a gimbal, the quicker it's going to diffuse the situation. Right. It's a gimbal. I got a catapult, like a little slingshot launcher.
That's cool.
He's pointing a gun at a school.
Do you have a lot of lucid dreams, or that you know you're dreaming?
I used to have way more.
Okay.
Now,
I think I've only had 2 dreams in my entire life that I figured out I was dreaming.
Like, one of my favorite lucid dreams, I was just telling Megan about this again, because we watched Wicked, and there's this part where, spoilers, Elphaba, it's pretty early on, Elphaba has these powers, and she kind of learns that she might be able to use her powers for good to get to meet the wizard, and she's really excited. She's running through a forest, and she like starts to fly a little bit because she's so happy. Anyway, come back to my dream. I was having this dream, I think it was when I was falling asleep more than waking up, where I was running along these beaches, or like between a chain of islands, and I was like running along them. It's also why I like jogging. I was running along them, and I could jump and kind of just like keep moving my legs, and I would keep flying, and I would like jump, fly between these islands. And so, yeah, I really, really enjoy it whenever I have flying dreams like that.
I wish I had more flying dreams. That's so stupid cool.
Can you imagine? Like, do you think people back before planes, do you think they had dreams where they could fly? I'm sure. Like seeing a bird.
Seeing a bird.
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not as much. It's hard to say. I would expect that after the advent of airplanes,
Yeah.
that the rate of people having flying dreams, especially whenever it's just taking off and stuff,
Yeah.
I would imagine that rate would increase. But I would imagine there were some people that had flying dreams prior to
Yeah,
planes.
I'm sure all the lore of like witches who could fly, like in my dream, I didn't have anything powering me, right? Like I hadn't watched anything, I guess, that made me think, oh, you can fly if you jump high enough and run fast enough. I was young, and so
I would imagine that soaring through the air, if I'm not mistaken, parachutes were made. I think hot air balloons were a thing before planes, and so if you have a such thing as parachutes and kind of paragliding.
Well, I think even to get that far, people would have had to have like dreamt that they could do that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not literally dream, but like had the ideas and thoughts and like, I don't know, chase that feeling.
That's a good point. Yeah, have you had a lot of flying dreams?
Well, they're really memorable for me because I like them. I remember 3. I remember more where I could I was in this safe zone, kind of like a video game, where I could just jump off and not die if I, jump. I was jumping through like these colorful areas.
So cool. Elizabeth, she has probably 3 nights a week of very vivid dreams, and she will text them to me in the night so that she, like, while they're really fresh on her mind, she'll either text out the full dream or she'll text me and say, hey, remind me of like a strange dream I had about church or about work and about this specific person, like maybe Lyndon or someone from church. Like, she'll tell me, hey, remind me of this. I've got a crazy story to tell you, and so I'll forget.
And my step goal, it's a low step goal, but I got it.
Is it 10?
I think it's like 6,000. I'm a pretty,
like a little less than 3 miles.
I'm a pretty sedentary guy, and I have a long stride, and so it's a good feat for me to it's a good feat for me to get that far. I moved it lower because I am so sedentary that even when I would go jogging, you all right?
Not my ankle, but my back.
Oh, good, just your back.
I have a cousin.
Let's walk down to the end of that stop sign and back.
Okay.
Just to get the extra.
No problem. It's my grandma's brother.
Yeah.
His son, I guess it's my cousin. His name is Joel. He's a chiropractor up here in DFW.
Oh, nice.
I've never seen him, I've never been to his practice.
Wait, it's your grandma's brother?
No, it's
his
her
son.
brother's son. Yeah.
Okay, so like your
uncle,
cousin. Yeah,
cousin, uncle.
Uncle.
That's right. I think it is just cousin. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So he has a chiropractic practice, and I was talking about my back. Having PTSD right now, seeing that FedEx van. Bringing back memories.
They're coming to take me.
Elizabeth, I'm coming to see you. You've seen Sanford and Son? Oh, okay.
No.
I got a clip to show you later. I'll put that in the description too. Of Fred Sanford acting like he's having a heart attack. It's a father and son that run a resale kind of junkyard.
Yeah.
And they're awesome, man. They're hilarious.
Yeah, I've at least heard of it.
My dad
seen it.
introduced me to that show. He quotes it from time to time. But Joel was recommended to me by my family this week because my back's been kind of acting up. So I need to call Joel and go see him so that I can fix this issue in my back. Probably do that this next week. Are we turning around?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I am like really.
Did it lock in?
I don't know.
Oh.
I think I just got confused. Like I turned it away thinking it would turn the opposite. It needed that view apparently. But so I'll have to go see cousin Joel. My uncle Wes was saying Joel's the best. Like he's the best that he's ever been to.
Oh, that's a good sign.
So it's good. I'm excited to go see him. Hopefully get some help. It's nice to have family that like someone you can trust. You know?
Yeah.
But I don't.
Someone you can track down if they do you wrong.
Oh my goodness.
I'm telling your mother.
I don't have a big issue with. I think I'm generally like overly trusting when it comes to people.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's like beyond. It's like a step even further than innocent until proven guilty. It's like even when proven guilty, I still like have such optimism that they'll change.
Yeah, I know they slapped me, but they probably just meant to tap me on the cheek.
Yeah. Like whether it's within the church or work, it's always good to assume the best of others.
Yeah.
I would suspect when you assume the best in people, they want to rise to that standard in most cases, and they can tell that you trust them. There are times where there would be exceptions to where you do need to make a distinction, but for the most part, man, like people are awesome, and
Yeah.
you know,
especially at work, like there are some times when you can tell, even though you might have disagreements, you're on the same team, you're working for the same like cause.
Yep.
What's painful to me is whenever people definitely see you as like someone who is feel like you owe them, like your team owes them something, rather than be like, how can we help you get this done, right?
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to be helping me, like we're supposed to be working together on this, and yet you're raising issue with us not hitting whatever commitments you think we had with you, even though there was misunderstandings. But when like, I don't want to get too in the weeds, but like someone was supposed to be stepping in because there was a gap on our team, and instead of actually trying to help us, he just kept escalating because we weren't hitting these deadlines, because us not having that role filled meant that we didn't know all the work that we were going to have to be doing. And so we had to keep on taking more and more work, and instead of like trying to help us through it, they just kept escalating to our leadership. Even though we're working for the same organization, right?
Yeah.
It's like we literally have the same goal. We want this done just as much as you. But it definitely did not feel like we were on the same team. And that makes things difficult.
Do you think that that's like that case is pretty exceptional and that most people aren't like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say 90% at our company are good. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the same.
It's
I
just
think that's pretty similar.
there is a bit of a divide in our org between product and tech, and sometimes product really makes you feel like it's an us versus them, right? Like tech isn't delivering, and we're trying to make sure that there's not risk. Like we're trying to help you through this.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Did I ever tell you about one of the people that he made such a large influence on me, like as a person, one of my heroes, at my old job. You already know his name, but
is it ML?
Yeah, exactly. He changed me forever and for the better. And it's not perfectly. I'm sorry, that's not perfectly related to that exact instance you were just talking about, but it reminded me that of how special it is when you're working with someone that the ego is checked at the door.
Yeah.
And a person with perhaps some of the most power at the company happens to be, has a great deal of humility.
Yeah.
And is willing to listen to the opinions of the people that'll be carrying it out every day.
Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Hi.
Sweet little dog. Where he's very willing to listen and to gather feedback before making a final decision. And one of the most powerful things that he taught me was it's just all in the packaging. It's all in how you ask something. He would leave a meeting with the customer after just getting it'd be a very stressful meeting. It would not be pleasant. He was the only one in the meeting with them representing our company, and just writing down the list of maybe grievances or just, hey, we need to work on this. But it was always told in a very when can you get this done manner.
Yeah.
And he would leave that inferno, and he'd go talk to a few people on the floor, and just very calm.
Insulating the team from that stress.
The stress. And I love that about him.
Yes, managers who do that are peak managers.
Yeah.
Where
you would never know what he just went through.
Right.
And the only reason that I would know is because I'd be walking by the room.
Yeah.
And I would see kind of the animation on some of the customers' faces, and so I'd know, okay, he's going through it right now. And then by the time he made it to my office, he's just like, hey, do you mind pulling me this since July 2022? I need it with these columns, and just can you send it to me and text me when it's in my inbox, and I'll head back to my office. Just so calm.
Yeah.
And I loved working for that guy. He was a leader.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a boss and there's some that just you'd go anywhere.
Yeah.
You have full, complete trust in them, and you know that they have your best interest at heart, and they take care of you and stuff.
Right.
I'll just say it's rare.
Yep.
Unfortunately. Yep. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, during this stressful time, our manager did not insulate us. And that's one thing I kind of wish had been done. Is when the other guy came to our senior leadership, and then came to our manager. Our manager then brought it down to us, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't know what to do. Like, we're gonna have to move faster. We're gonna have to," and like several people on my team got burned out from all the overtime and stuff trying to get these requests done as fast as they were coming in.
Yikes. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm sorry to hear that. Just about all that stress. It's a lot. It's way easier to say, like, I hope it gets better.
Yeah.
Than it is to wait for it.
Hello.
Hey guys, good morning. Than to wait for it to get better.
Yeah.
And to be praying about it. Because there's so much of it when it comes to work, or when it comes to really just large issues that span more than 2 or 3 people. Like, it's a system, it's a process issue, like problems with a process, or problems with a lot of people. Those are really difficult to navigate, because it's, in a lot of ways, we can only control how we respond and what we do, but we can influence, we can try to help,
Right.
But it is really hard waiting, like that John Mayer song, waiting on the world to change.
Oh. Yeah.
He's one of the guys that gets me through the bad times, man. Have you listened to him much?
Not too much.
Oh.
I've heard that song and a few others, but
yeah. Sometime I'll send you one of my favorites by him. It's Stop This Train. It's just a beautiful song about the passage of time and just how scary it can be. And every time I listen to it and stuff, like, I really empathize with the sentiment that he wrote it with. The last thing I'll say about that guy is, not John, is he was very funny. Like, he was, man, he was like incredibly funny. A little kid over here having the time of his life. Just looking for his butterfly. So, one last thing I'll say about Mike is just that, man, he was so incredibly funny. He was very witty, and his brain was like, he's like a walking calculator. I mean, he could do just some crazy math, and in just about 10 seconds, to where he would have kind of the plan, like napkin math, but without the napkin and pen. And there was one time a guy, an IT guy, because the customer wanted to switch to like this new way of doing things, and our system would have even more attributes that could better support their business.
Yeah.
The guy's name was Bart, and he was the IT manager, and infrastructure. And he goes, anytime you went to ask him for something, he was like, "Sorry, I'm just so wrapped up in Project One right now." Project One was basically his get out of jail free card, and Mike started to kind of get a little bit frustrated because he was needing some stuff from Bart too.
Yeah.
And he just kind of sits back in one of our internal meetings, and he's like, I wonder Art uses that like on everyone, where he's like, his wife's like, "Hey, honey, the grass is getting a little bit tall outside. Sorry, honey, I'm neck deep in Project One right now. Like, it's just not going to happen for the next 6 months, at least. But I'll put it on I'll put it on the calendar.
Put it on my backlog.
Put it on my backlog, the back burner. Yeah. He was really funny. The last time I talked to him, he said, I asked him, "Are you thinking about retirement? And have you been thinking about it more and at all?" He goes, "Not one bit. not even once." He's just that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like he said, as long as his mind is still intact and his body is still able to walk, he's like, "I think I'm just going to keep doing it until I can't." Just very inspirational guy. Well, it is saying that I have about 20% battery life left, so I think we're going to call it to a close, guys.
All right.
Thank y'all for joining us on the walk. You get to see the bread gang one last time. I'm glad that y'all got to meet James. Him and I meet up about once every 2 weeks at least to have breakfast on Saturdays, and so he was able to come along on this trip, and I think we'll get to have you along a lot more. Did you have a good time?
No.
I didn't think so.